Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, did Jaclyn Hill know that Morphe changed the ingredients in these eyeshadows? Not did she know if they tweaked the formula for performance, but did she know that the actual ingredients change? Did she know that? And two, is Jaclyn Hill a lying manipulator? Someone who pretends that they are perhaps more innocent than they actually are. Is that the case with her? We're going to find out with both of these questions. We're about to look into it. We're fixing to get into it. So first, I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and in these videos we do take a look at the tea with the tarot. So these videos are always meant to be helpful, not hateful, and if you are down with that, join the family here as we hop right into this. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you already know what all of this is about if you clicked on this video and you've already been following videos, you've already been following tweets on Twitter about all of this mess. So what we're going to do is just jump straight into looking at this with the cards and get an idea of what's going on. There's people out there that say Jaclyn only knew that Morphe was going to make certain tweaks to the formula to improve it for her launch, the Volume 2 palette, which I did do a reading on that. It got really interesting and weird at the end there. Talked about some legal issues coming up, which seems to kind of be happening, huh? And talked about some other stuff too, so if you want to check that out, pause this video, go look at the video that I did for the launch for the Volume 2 palette. But anyway, some people are saying she didn't know. She made a post that said she didn't know. Morphe made a post that said she didn't know. But there are some people that are like, but how didn't you know? Jen Loves Reviews did a video about the original Jaclyn Hill palette that went over pretty well, and most people really liked the formula there. That was Jaclyn Hill's baby, and Jen Loves Reviews has some questions like, well, if you knew that the formula was being tweaked for performance and you knew you already liked that formula and that was yours, did you not ask questions as to what people were changing? How could you have not known? You know, there are some people that are just speculating, but how could she have not known? You know, so they're both saying, both Morphe and Jaclyn are saying they didn't know, but how could that be? You know, and so there are people that kind of think on both sides. There are some people that are siding with Jaclyn in this, and some people are saying, you know what? She's always lying. She's always manipulating. She's always shilling for money. This is the type of person she is. So there are very extreme ways of looking at this. And I personally don't know that I have a developed opinion myself on it. That's why I'm looking into the cards today to see what the cards say. Because I don't know that I can say that I think one way or the other. So here we go. Let's look into this. All right. I've already shuffled before, but I'm going to shuffle some more just for those people. That was a shit shuffle. Just for those people that like to see the cards are getting shuffled up really well before we get into things. There we go. That's more like a normal shuffle. Alright, good for us. Dang. Okay. So let's look. What do we have? What do we have here? Okay. So, first question. Did Jaclyn Hill know that Morphe changed the actual ingredients in these palettes? More than just, oh yeah, I know that they tweaked things for performance. Did she actually know that some ingredients changed? Because there are people out there that are like, you changed something from being vegan to no longer being vegan, and that's a big deal to a lot of people. How could she have not known? So let's look. Let's check that out. Well, that's an interesting first card to put it on. Okay. Let's see where this is taking us. Because this is... Okay. Okay. Alright, so this is interesting. This is kind of taking us a little bit further back from the question. So it's starting out saying that this is an ongoing issue. And by ongoing issue, I think that this is twofold. So this is an ongoing issue in terms of Jaclyn's reputation and Morphe's reputation, and Jaclyn x Morphe, or Morphe x Jaclyn, I guess, whatever. Their reputation is something that is like an ongoing issue. This is something that isn't even over yet. So not only has this been something going along in the past up through current state, this is still something that's going to keep being an issue. There's going to be some kind of weirdness that continues with Morphe and Jaclyn and all of this. So for everybody that's like, can we just be done with this and have things go smoothly and honestly from here on out with integrity? We ain't there yet. We're just not there yet. So here we go. Moving on. If we're talking about seeing the Fool upright and the Ace of Cups upright, this, to be honest, is kind of like a childlike, naive, emotional type energy. So this would support those people that are saying, well, Jaclyn is just, really naive and just, this is her passion and she just blindly believes what she's told, all of that. There is some truth to that. I'm not going to say, based on what I see down here, I'm not going to say that she's completely innocent based on what I see down here. And of course, everything I'm saying, just for the record, is alleged. We're looking at cards here. This is alleged. I'm not making any kind of actual accusations here. But yeah, there's an element of her that is naive and, just kind of overly trusting of what people are saying and tell her, and she doesn't necessarily do her due diligence of looking into things because she just believes automatically what she's told. There is a component of that, so that is true. People who think that, there is some truth to that. However, we got this row down here as well, which is interesting. So this right here is talking about losing money, and that is something that's on both Jaclyn and Morphe's brain. That, of course, all of this is mainly about making money. I don't think anybody, people may say, no, it's all for the passion, it's all for the love. If everything was just for passion and just for love, nobody would monetize anything, There's for money, too. This is where it's getting weird. The Lover's card in reverse and the Five of Wands upright means there's some trouble in paradise here. So when we get the Lover's card in reverse, this means that in this case, a business relationship is not doing so well. So we know, like all of us who've been following this since the beginning of time knows that Jaclyn and Morphe have been a thing for a long time. I don't know, the better part of a decade, Jaclyn and Morphe have been a thing. And Jaclyn and Linda at Morphe are really close friends as far as what we, the public, are shown. This card here suggests that some things are going weird between Jaclyn Hill and Morphe. I don't know if there have been some disagreement. Well, yeah, I do because of this card. So, but I'm trying not to get ahead of myself. I don't know exactly right yet what the falling out is, but there's trouble in paradise. Something's not going smooth between them. People are either Morphe is thinking that this relationship is not working out to get them the type of money that they want. They're wanting to look into different avenues, or maybe Morphe, maybe Jaclyn is feeling like, hey, every time something happens with a collaboration with me and Morphe, I get thrown to the wolves and Morphe comes out, relatively unscathed, and I'm getting sick of that. I want Morphe to take the hits this time. I don't know. There's something weird going on between Jaclyn and Morphe where things are not a smooth, tight relationship anymore. The Five of Wands card. When I said, I don't know if they're fighting or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I do, because of this card. The Five of Wands card is a conflict card. So again, reiterating the whole trouble in paradise, there's conflict here. This card oftentimes is about fighting. Now, fighting can be an intense word. It doesn't have to be that intense. It can be disagreements. It can be seeing things, in different ways, where this person is thinking this way and this person is thinking this way, and they're not really on the same page. But when you get the Five of Wands, regardless of the severity of the disagreement / argument / fighting, there is animosity. Emotionally, there's some sort of animosity and, feelings that, something doesn't feel right. Let me pull 3 more cards to kind of get some extra information here. Okay. Okay. This card came up in my other Jaclyn reading when we did the Volume 2 launch video. And I believe it was reversed in that one too. So this is getting interesting here. Because here we have somebody that is making a choice between 2 things. This or this. And so it's sandwiched in between these 2 things. And I want to know if this is Jaclyn or Morphe. Hold on. I want to know if this is Jaclyn or Morphe. That doesn't quite answer it. That could still go either way. Let me check. Ooh. Ooh. Hold on. Okay, so this is Morphe. Okay. Hold on. Alright. So, backing up, before I get into this, because this is a whole new cup of tea here. Before I get into this, the original question was, did Jaclyn Hill know that Morphe changed the actual ingredients of the formula? And from the cards, how I said, it looked like up there is a naivety about her that's just trusting and blindly believes what people tell her. And so even if there's some trouble in paradise down here, if I'm going to be honest from the reading, I do think she had her head in the sand a bit. I think she knew some things. Like, she knew that tweaks were made. Therefore, every time she says, oh, this is the original formula, she's not being truthful, because she knows it's not the original formula, because she knows things have been tweaked to make improvements. So I think that there is an element of being dishonest there, but I do think that she does blindly accept and believe what people tell her because she trusts them, and she likes that they do the legwork so that she doesn't have to, because she is the type that wants to just be a CEO and not like put in a lot of work. The people that just like make money but don't work as hard, allegedly. I'm not saying she doesn't work hard, but you know what I mean, that she's okay with other people putting in the work and taking their word for it. So that's to answer that question. This is bringing us into something different. So I wanted to go ahead and get that one answered by what the card said, because this is moving into some crazy crap here. So, Morphe, this is someone who's young. This is someone who is older and on the way out. It looks like Morphe is kind of having some issues and decisions that they're thinking about right now, where they have their eye on maybe some younger influencers or younger creators, as opposed to people who are older. I don't know. The young card is upright. The older card is in reverse. So I think there's an element of Morphe that's kind of thinking out with the old, in with the new, to some degree. There's something about that going on with them in terms of changing their focus. When I drew on here and got said I wanted clarifiers to know if this was Morphe or Jaclyn Hill, this card we got here is a card talking about kind of boredom and complacency and getting tired of the same old, same old. So both Morphe and Jaclyn have some components where they're getting tired of how this kind of goes, and they're feeling some kind of way about it. It's not inspiring and reinvigorating anymore. So that's interesting. Also, with the Eight of Cups in reverse, this is where things get... This is the card I pull when it means that somebody's permanently walking away from something. That's the card I pull. Now, whether that means Morphe and Jaclyn kind of walking away from each other, whether that means Morphe getting rid of Jaclyn or Jaclyn ditching Morphe, I don't know. I don't even know if it's that necessarily that extreme. But there's something weird going on here. Okay, hold on. Let me push these up. Let me pull these out the way for right now. I want to get some clarifiers on these two cards right here, and then we can go more into that. Oh. Alright, come on, cards. Come on, cards. Woo! Let's not all jump at once. How about it? Okay. I'm like, wait. Hold on. Hold on. God, okay, yeah. So the whole something's going wrong with this business relationship. There is a female who is dissatisfied with this business relationship between Jaclyn and Morphe. A female is dissatisfied with it. The Chariot in reverse is an all-stop card, meaning slow the brakes, we don't want to move forward kind of thing. So somebody is rethinking moving forward in the Jaclyn-Morphe collaborative process here because they're tired of how things go. And they want out of it. With the card about, kind of animosity, those kind of annoyed / hurt feelings and potentially arguing and, having some bad blood. With the Ten of Wands in reverse, this is a card that's saying there's a lot of extra responsibility and it's not worth it. This isn't paying off anymore. This isn't worth it to me. So again, it's hard to say whether this is Morphe saying, hey, I'm not liking how this is going. This isn't worth it. I want to distance myself from collaborations with Jaclyn. Or if this is Jaclyn being like, hey, y'all, this is getting to be too much. I'm getting kind of tired of this. And just because people are tired of something doesn't mean they automatically just up and leave right away. You could think about this as any kind of relationship that doesn't work out well, that a lot of times people stay well beyond the amount of time that it is actually working okay. People overstay their welcome all the time. So who knows what will happen and when, but we know something's up. Somebody's not having it anymore. Somebody's not liking this anymore. And this is interesting. And somebody at Morphe's going to walk away from that. Somebody who is associated with Morphe is going to start distancing themselves from Morphe. I don't know if it's a decision that's Morphe making for them to cut ties, or if it's a decision of the creator to separate themselves from Morphe, but I see somebody permanently walking away. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Jaclyn, though it could be, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. So that is interesting. Let me see if there's any. Let me just pull. I'll pull one on each of those. Okay. Okay. So when it comes to the young, like, yeah, when I said I think maybe Morphe might be looking at a younger population, I think that's true, because here you have like living the fantasy, living the dream, lots of different options, lots of different people out there that you could pick, you know, that could be a good collaborator. So it's kind of like Morphe's looking out among all the young new talent of people who are, you know, a much more youthful audience, and trying to see if there's anybody that they might want to take a look at. And again, with this card about someone older, here I'm getting another card about someone older, and in this card, this is a female energy. That doesn't necessarily always mean a female, but it means a female energy. Somebody who Morphe and them are going to be kind of a Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. So we answered the first question about whether or not Jaclyn Hill knew about the ingredient change, but we got an awful lot more than what we were asking about. This is more than we bargained for. And hell, we still have to get to another question. Wow. We still have to, we're going to keep updated on that. I think we're going to do more videos on that. Yeah, we're going to have to do more videos on that. But we still have another question about, is Jaclyn Hill a lying manipulator who pretends that she's not? Allegedly. Allegedly. We still need to look into that. Well, can I get my hands up in here? Or what? Alright, here we go. So let's shuffle a third time, 3 times the charm. Why not? Why not? Alright. So, is Jaclyn Hill a lying manipulator who pretends she's not? Allegedly. Woo! This one? I don't think this one was meant to come out, so I'm going to put it back in. I'm not surprised that I got this card, to be honest. Especially from what we got at the beginning of the other reading that we did. I'm not surprised. I'm really not. Okay, so we're getting a bit of a mixed signal here. I mean, not necessarily conflicting, but like for people who want it to be all innocent or all manipulative, we're getting a mix of both here, if I'm going to be honest. This Page of Cups is saying that we're talking about somebody who is actually fairly emotionally immature. So emotionally, in some way, she may have some stunted development. She may have some things that she's got to work through that causes her not to function in the way a fully well-developed adult would, which is common. We'll give it that. We'll give it that. The Seven of Wands is saying that she is the type that is willing to fight for what she wants. So, let me pull a card on this, because before I explain too far, and I want to get an angle. Okay. Crap. Let me get an angle on that card too. Okay. Wow. Okay. So, what we have here, somebody that is willing to fight for whatever she wants. Like, she'll protect her ground. If she feels like something's going to get in the way of her making money, she's going to fight for it. If she feels like somebody's going to get in the path of what she's aiming for in life, she's going to fight for it. That's not always a bad thing, but it can be. You know, it's not always a bad thing, but it can be. With the Judgment card in reverse, this means that she is she's kind of fallen off her path here. She's kind of losing sight of what is important and what she's supposed to be focusing on and what she's meant to be and meant to do. She is losing sight of that. The Sun card here is one of the most positive cards in the entire deck, almost 80 cards in here, and this is one of the most positive. So she is a charmed person. You know those people that are just blessed, that they seem to have 9 lives, they die and come back over and over and over. She is that type of person, but she doesn't see it that way because she gets a bit in victim mode. Now, victim mode doesn't always have to mean woe is me, woe is me. Victim mode can mean that you feel like you are the object of something that is not fair. But there's something going on where she has trouble. She filters the positives. She has trouble seeing the good things and focuses a lot on the bad. This card is saying that it would behoove her to take a lot of time for therapy, soul searching, you know, really reflecting on things that maybe she doesn't want to see within herself, that it would be really helpful to do that. The Nine of Pentacles upright shows that she's going to find a way to make her money no matter what. She's resourceful and she's going to find a way to make her money no matter what. With the Hierophant card in reverse, let me pull a clarifier on this one too. Again, this is very similar to what we see up here. The Hierophant card in reverse says that she has troubles with commitments. And again, kind of reiterating going off of her path a little bit in ways that are not beneficial, in ways that kind of can bring her down. I think she makes her life harder on herself than it has to be. I think she is the person who gets in the way. She gets in her own way more than anybody else does. Let me rephrase it. She gets in her way more than anybody else does. If anybody is tanking her in any kind of way, she's tanking herself more than anybody else. Is what I'm seeing here. Given that this is the same queen that was down here earlier in the last reading about being dissatisfied with the business relationship between her and Morphe, given that this stands for her now, then it must have been standing for her then, so it's her that's dissatisfied between the stuff going on between her and Morphe. And I wouldn't put it past her if, you know how usually she's the one that has to apologize and make all these statements and Morphe just kind of gets to stay in the background, and this time Morphe made like a 2-page post about how Jaclyn didn't know anything and it was on them, and then Jaclyn later made a post being like, yeah, it wasn't on me, I didn't know anything. I wouldn't put it past her to be like, I'm sick and tired of y'all not cleaning up the mess. Y'all make a statement because y'all made this mess and I'm mad. Y'all fix this. Y'all make a statement and show that I'm, clear my name. I wouldn't put it past her that she kind of strong-armed to be like, y'all clear my name. Y'all fix this because I'm pissed. I would not put that past her. In terms of being a lying manipulator, we haven't seen anything in here so far that shows she's the type that would, quote-unquote, sell her soul to the devil and do anything for money, including toss baby puppies off a cliff or something. I'm being extra when I say that. I'm not seeing anything like that. So I'm not seeing anything that shows some deep, insidious, devilish way of trying to get her coin no matter what. But I am seeing emotional immaturity, somebody who's really attached to the idea of wealth and nice things, who will be willing to kind of go off her correct path in order to make sure she maintains that lifestyle. So it wouldn't be beneath her to do things that have a lack of integrity involved for her to get what she wants. She would go that route. I'm not seeing anything that says she's so bad and horrible, but I am seeing that she would be willing to kind of, you know, sweep some stuff under the rug or cast some things aside to make sure she gets what she wants out of things. So, we're getting a little bit of both here, you know, with some of this. Is there anything I want to clarify on here? Because this video is a half hour long and I want people to actually watch it, so I don't want to make it too long. I'll get one more card over here. And I'll get one more card. Okay. I'll get two more cards. Okay. Yep. That's repeating what we've just said. Yep. So this just repeats what we just said. That she's going to make sure she's got hers. And that if it means that she's got to kind of do some, you know, messy things, she's okay with being messy to make sure her needs are taken care of. So nothing too extremely bad came up here, but nothing, you know, wonderful and completely innocent and, you know, completely all about the passion and heart came up either. So just throwing that out there. Again, everything we said here was alleged. I have no idea what the hell all that stuff was going on about the Morphe thing. I don't know. Morphe's having an internal change up some kind of way that we're not privy to, and Jaclyn's having some kind of feelings about it that we're not privy to. And in the last reading on the launch, it said that there were some legal things that were going to be going on between Jaclyn and Morphe, and then some weird personal things going on in Jaclyn's life. So this is just a cluster right now. And I'm curious to see how it's going to go from here. And I'm curious to see how long it's going to take before we see any of this and know any of this. But anywho, if y'all would like to book a private reading with me, then hit me up at my Gmail right here, beestalksandtarot@gmail.com, to schedule a private reading with me. I've done lots of private readings for y'all, and I've thoroughly enjoyed them. We usually do video chat through Skype. So, you know, let me know if you want to do a session. And also, subscribe, like the video, hang around, see me on the next one. Go check out the other video that I did. Tell me what you think that could be about. Because it very well could be about people getting mad about the whole formula change and things no longer being vegan and false advertising. And if there is false advertising for things no longer being vegan, people might take legal action because they would be able to take legal action. And if that's the case, that could be the legal stuff that came up in the last reading I did on this. So, don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And like I said, subscribe so you'll see me on the next one. I need to learn out how to say goodbye on these videos. I'm from the South. We don't know how to say bye. We take 5 years to say goodbye. I need to come up with like an outro so I like have an effective way of saying bye to y'all. So I guess bye guys.